I'm going to start with a few deep breaths. It is March 2026, and I'm on day 14 of my cycle, so I am now ovulating and feeling really good, and I thought I would do another video today. I've been working on this piece off and on. I took a couple breaks the last couple days because I was painting so vigorously that my wrist started acting up again, because I just get so focused on what I'm doing that I forget to be gentle with myself sometimes. So took a couple breaks, and I'm going to try to be tender with the wrist today. I might paint with my left hand. I might try to consciously do that. And I also started wearing gloves because I noticed that after I was done painting, my hands were feeling kind of weird, kind of numb. Like my fingers were a little bit numb, which was not an issue like when I just paint with acrylic as it is, but because I'm watering it down and it's so liquidy, I think it was seeping into my skin, and acrylic is made of mostly plastic, so we don't want that. I meant to do this before we started recording. That's JD's move with the gloves. That's the wrong glove. So that you can get multiple uses out of them. But then they start like inside out. Here's me on camera on YouTube blowing into gloves, which is fine. Okay. Hopefully there was no paint on those. Just like a ring of paint around my mouth. Yeah, so I'm gonna get started. What I'm gonna focus on today, I just keep layering the paint, more and more layers, and I guess I'm experimenting to see if you know, like how many layers is too many layers? Like, will it get to a point where it's like, oh, I went too far? But that hasn't happened yet, which is kind of cool. And I mixed a whole bunch more of this charcoaly black color because I'm going to use this in the darker areas to bring the contrast up. Because I'm really liking these light areas. I'm really liking the dark areas too, but I want just a little bit more texture. What I did the last time I was working, I went in with a bunch of like various brush strokes because I just felt like there was too much like watercolory wash, and I like the texture that the brush strokes bring. probably should have done this before we hit record, but oh well. There's always so much that goes into planning for it and thinking about it. And I'm so grateful that I have JD to do that, to do the camera stuff, because like I have no idea. I mean, that's not true. My first couple videos were I did myself on my phone, and I felt like they were pretty good. But they were no like high level production value, which is what JD is bringing, which is cool. Okay. And I forgot a palette knife. So it's really sunny today. Still kind of chilly, still kind of cold. I think the temperature, the car said it was 5. And JD and I went to the beach earlier and took our shoes off and walked barefoot on the beach, which we like to do when the weather's nice, to ground. And it was the first time that well, he's done it when it was even colder than today, but today was my first time since October. So that was really cool. And yeah, I felt really relaxed afterwards, and my feet were kind of tired, but in a good way, in the best way. Okay. Oh yeah. Can't forget my new water tool. Oh. I'm not sure how much I'll be using that, because I don't know. I don't know if I really want to soak the canvas today. We'll just see. We'll just get started and then see what comes. Some of my brushes, I actually got this brush last week, and I got another one last week, this one. And they're oldies. I got them at an antique market, and you can't find brushes like this anymore. This one's actually split here and coming a bit loose, but that's okay, it can be fixed. I don't know, I just like knowing that there's a story behind them, that somebody else used them for something at some time, for some project. I feel like objects carry memory, and this one is also very old. I got it from my Opa when he died. I don't know, I don't think it's anything special. He just had a bunch of brushes, and my dad was like, do you want these? And they actually make, because they're old, this one especially, it makes the coolest marks. So I might start with this one actually. Let's do that. And I'm just going to go in and start with the dark charcoal. I have a bit of fear today, maybe because I haven't painted for a few days. It's like the fear of ruining it, which I talked about in my last video. It's like, I think because I'm at this point where I'm really liking it, but I know it's not finished. So it's like, okay, I have to continue, I have to go forward. And there have been times in the past where I've done that, and overworked a piece or felt like I like how this is blending together. Yeah, I overworked it or like just scrapped it together like entirely. And those paintings, those canvases ended up becoming future paintings that I really love. So no fear. No fear. It's strange because some days there is no fear at all, and then some days it's like almost paralyzing. And it's just art. Like, it's not even, I'm not saying like art is not important, but it's abstract art at that. It's like there's room for mistakes and room for error. And that's what I really like about abstract art. My cloths are getting very used. So I think the dabbing is what's causing my wrist to feel like that. So I'm just gonna go easy on it because I'm just like, soak that paint up. Sometimes I'm like, what am I even saying? But I'm already liking this area. It's like these dark splotches. Because I want to add texture and depth to the darker areas. But I don't want to go too much. I don't want it to just be a big black hole. The foam brush seems to be helping to fan out the darker parts. Oh, that was a jet spray. Oh. It's like, oh, there. It was either a jet stream or no jet at all. Feeling kind of playful today, I guess. On the topic of fear, though, reminded me of how heavy things have felt lately in the collective. I feel very sensitive and attuned to what the majority of people are going through. It's almost like this wave in the background where the emotions are, it's almost hard for me to put a name to the feeling of them, because I guess I've learned over time to differentiate between my own emotions and the emotions of the collective based on whether I'm able to place the feeling or not. It just feels grander when it's the emotions of everyone, and I really think that we're all connected and that we can tap into this hive mind and really feel each other. It is a gift that we have as humans to be able to do that, like a hive mind, like bees. And it feels like anxiety that I can't place, or fear that I don't know why I'm feeling it, or worry. I know a few of my friends that I've talked to recently feel worried, but they don't know why. I know that there's, stories and fear being pumped into the news outlets right now. But it caused me to connect with my higher self, or inspired me, I should say, to connect with my higher self. Because I'm reading this book right now called The Power of the Subconscious Mind. It's an old one, and I actually prefer the old metaphysical books to the New Age ones, like the New Age spiritual ones. Not because they're better. I think it's the one line in me that wants to get to the root. Like, I just want the source material. I don't want somebody else to give me their own interpretation of it. I want the raw information, and then I want to be able to make my own analysis based on that. And I think The Power of the Subconscious Mind was written in the 30s, I think. 1930s or 1940s. And I feel like, so I've been learning so much about the subconscious mind, which I heard Bashar talk about the higher self a lot. And I felt like I had a pretty good grasp on what the higher self is, who the higher self is. But this book has just helped me so much more, like understand it so much more, and I've come to see the subconscious mind and the higher self as the same, which I don't know if that's true. I feel like there are people who would probably tell me differently. But for me, it's been very helpful to view it that way, because both ideas seem abstract. And just because it's abstract doesn't mean that it's not useful. So it's like, I remember Bob Proctor talking about electricity, and it's like, just because you don't understand how it works doesn't mean that you don't benefit from it. Because I don't know how electricity works. But I enjoy it. I deeply enjoy electricity. I lived without it for almost 2 years when I was in Alberta. Not totally out of it. I had it in my studio, but not in my house. So nobody loves electricity more than me. Oh. That added like a light. Like, where did that light paint come from? I actually don't mind it really. I feel like I'm at a bit of a loss, like where to go next with this painting. Usually when that happens, I know that it's finished, but right now, like deep in my core, I don't think this one is. I think I need some darker brown over here. I have to stir up the paint sometimes because it settles at the bottom, which I don't really mind. If I dip my brush in it and there's paint in the bottom, it gets in the brush, it creates these interesting marks. But if I'm doing a wash, which is sort of what I'm doing right now, yeah, see, it's not really dark enough. I'm hoping that if I just keep going with the layers, that it'll be the depth that I want. But it also dries so differently. Like it definitely dries lighter. Did I use this? No, I haven't used that one yet. Like probably 10 minutes in, I'm already confused. So I was saying how learning and connecting with my higher self has helped me a lot with this fear and anxiety I've been feeling this week. Because what I've learned about the subconscious mind is that it is the primary driving force for life. And it always wants expansion. And it wants us to grow, and it wants us to be happy, healthy, prosperous, just enjoying life. And I really think that that's what God wants for us too, but sometimes I find the concept of God to be overwhelming or mysterious is a good word. It's like you're trying to grasp this idea of the omnipotent that made us, and it's almost like your brain can't comprehend it. Like we're not designed to understand. Like God wants to be, I don't want to say unknown, but wants to remain a mystery, because the parts of our minds that would understand have trouble with it. And maybe that's part of what being here is all about, is like the mystery of life and the not knowing. Because if we knew, if we really could grasp who we are and why we're here, maybe the experience would not be the same. It wouldn't be what we came here to experience. I'm kind of liking that. So I think the subconscious mind and our idea of what God is are very similar, if not the same. but it's helpful for me to think of the subconscious mind as my higher self because it feels closer to me, and I guess just more relatable. So the other day I was just about to fall asleep and thinking about my higher self and how my higher self has been leading my life this whole time. And I remember feeling relief, and I said to her, I'm gonna hand the reins over to you now. And we were sitting in a car, this is all happening in my mind. And we were sitting in a car and she just laughed at me and she said, who do you think's been driving this whole time? Like, you want me to take over? I've got it. I've had it this whole time. You just thought that you were driving. And the image that came to me was I was in the passenger seat. She was driving in the driver's seat. And she's like this cool chick. She was wearing like a black t-shirt and she had her hair up in a pony and sunglasses and just like relaxed and listening to music and like going wherever I want to go. And she's like, yeah, sure, we can go there. Sure, we can go there. We can go there. But also like taking me, like protecting me from certain places. So if I'm like terrified of something really bad happening, you know, she's like trying to steer me away from that. Like, maybe we don't want to manifest that in our life. So like the idea of the higher self and us is that the higher self is up on a mountain and can see the path below, but we're in the valley experiencing the valley and we don't have a bird's eye view. So we're not actually steering. But I think in a way it is like a co-creation process, like a choose your own adventure, like go this way or that way. I don't know. Stuff I think about a lot. So she's in the driver's seat, I'm in the passenger seat, and instead of looking out the window and enjoying the scenery, enjoying the ride, I have this tiny little like child steering wheel toy on my lap and I'm like frantic, like I can't stop holding it because I think I'm the one driving. And she's like trying to tell me, it's okay, just look out the window, it's great. I got this. So that image really helped. It really helped me. And the last few days that I've been feeling, anytime I feel this anxiety bubble up again, it's like a queasiness in my stomach, or my brain, like my mind goes on these wild rampages, like maybe we need to do this, maybe we need to go here, maybe this will work. So it's been helpful for me to think about my higher self, aka my subconscious, which is the primary driving force of my life, and to know that she's got it and I don't have to worry. I can just enjoy this life that I signed up for. And I realized in that moment, I don't want to spend my whole life trying to drive a car that I am not driving, because I will miss I'll miss the journey. I don't want to miss it. So if I can put trust in myself and in the workings of God and the universe, and maybe there won't be as much anxiety. Or maybe I can still feel the anxiety, but enjoy the ride anyway. I don't know. Really liking this color. I'm just blending it with this brown that's on this foam brush. I don't want to add too much brown to that area because I really like the green with the gray. So I'm just being mindful about what I do. And I don't know, I might just add a bit of water. I don't think I'm gonna dab it though, because I think the dabbing it lifts the color up. I don't want to dab it, but I also don't want it to look like animal spots, like a cow print or something. I don't think it would, but you never know. I want it to look like there are pockets of like lack of light. I think that's a good description. Because the light is in the center there, and I want to keep the light there. But now that I sit up, I can see it does need a bit of dabbing. Yeah, it's nice. I'm wondering if I bring this darkness down into this way to sort of vignette the top. I'm viewing this as the top of the painting and that as the bottom. I think I might do that. Let's see. I found that going to the beach today and walking barefoot, and we're in the sun too, it really helps lift the spirits. And we're so close right now to summer. It's just hang on a little bit longer. In a few weeks, it's going to be 20 degrees. Yeah, I'm liking that. The trick with the dark gray is to not do dark gray on the lighter areas, so I'm working from light to dark so that I can see what dark areas need more darkness. Because what I've learned from this method is it's very hard to go back, like to go from dark to light. I don't think it's possible. Once the canvas is stained, it's stained. So, I mean, I can lift up the color with a rag and some water all I want, but if that's the color, if that's the dark color that I use, then that's it. So it's much easier to start off light and then to add as I go. But I'm still learning how the different layers of color interact with each other. Like once it dries and then I add another layer on top of it to see how this color talks to this color and the relationship between them. And like the green that I have over there, I added pink, that like blush pink color that I have next to it. I added it over top and I love the effect so much, but I didn't get rid of the green. It just added like another layer of depth to it. Which I kind of love, because it's like our life experiences. You can't erase what you've been through. You can only add on top of it, and it just becomes this canvas of colors and dots and lines and experiences. Feeling very philosophical today. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking this trail of darkness. I wonder if I do more here and then these three can sort of talk to each other. These three areas of darkness, or maybe it'd be too much. I'm not really liking there were like three distinct dark areas. So I'm just going to blend two of them together. Yeah. Loving this brush. There, that feels better. It's like more fluid and less spotty. Now I go here with the dark? Maybe just a little here. I'll try it. These are kombucha bottles, which I really like because they're made of glass, but I took the labels off of them because I want to see the color inside, but they're still kind of sticky from the labels, so my gloves, like I pick it up and they just kind of sticks to it. which I know that'll wear over time. Oh. I also have this second canvas underneath, which is catching all my drips and spills and like spill off things, which I'm excited to see how that will influence my next painting. Which I'm getting to the point where with this one, I'm almost ready to move on from it. I can always come back to it though. That's the thing. I can, sometimes when I step away from it, like my paintings, and then I come back to them in a few months, it's like I just want to add to it and I know what it's asking of me. Whereas when I'm working so closely with it now, it's almost like I can't see it, which is good, and I don't want to say bad, but it has its drawbacks. When you're working so close to something, it's helpful to get somebody else's opinion, which is why it's so great that JD and I work together in the studio, because we can bounce ideas off of each other and like, hey, what do you think of this? Or it's mostly like me asking him. He's pretty confident with his work and his style. He still likes to show me stuff though. It's also great too because, you know, working as an artist can be very solitary. It's nice to have somebody who understands it, and he's just as excited to get to the studio as I am. Oh, there's paint on that. I didn't realize I used this one. What's on it? Oh, maybe it's just wet. Okay, now what? There's like a little black spot over here, which I'm gonna try to lessen a bit. We'll see how that goes. I really like this area because it shows that I had, you know, I had a wet brush and it just sort of trailed off the canvas. I like that one. There's so much I like about this painting. There's so much I'm loving about this method, this working on raw canvas. Like coming back to it, it just feels so rejuvenating. And I'm excited to work in collage again. It's nice to take some time away and to work on something else. I think I needed some time away from collage after I organized all my collage papers. Because I was in this place of just sorting, and yeah, it was sorting, labeling, organizing. I got carts that I put everything in. I organized these 2 suitcases. So now, I mean, it doesn't look organized, but it is to me, because now I know what's in each one. And yeah, I think after that I was just like, I don't really want to look at paper for a little while. But I have a few new coffee table books that I got from the thrift store a few weeks ago, and I brought them in but haven't looked at them. And this morning I remembered that I had them and was excited to go through them again. Because the newness and the freshness of images can like reinvigorate my passion. So that'll be fun. When I feel like getting back to collage, I'll do it. And I'm also feeling like I could do another one of these just in different tones. Like this color, this like reddish oxblood was a mistake. Because how I said earlier, the pigment, the color gets stuck at the bottom. I hadn't stirred it, and I put the brush in and I put it out, and that came out, and then immediately I was like, oh, it's too red. But then the longer I looked at it, the more I loved it. And so this color right here might actually inspire my next one. But it's feeling good. I think what I'm going to do is the dark areas that I did up here, I'm going to do down at the bottom. I have a hair in my mouth. There is already a dark area down at the bottom on the left. Well, I guess the bottom would be the right. It's my left right now. But yeah, I feel like it could use some more depth. Could definitely use some more depth. And I might try to tone down that green area. I don't know. Maybe I'll do that right now. Let's see. No, I don't think so. I think I'm at this point where I'm just painting for the sake of painting. And it's time to work on another area or move on to another painting. So I'm going to wrap it up.